I have to give massive thanks and praise, 2019, coming in smiling, massive thanks and praise to our live audience who have not only gone back a decade in gaming. No, that's not how we roll during the live stream. We've gone back 2 decades, 21 years of gaming, all the way back to the PlayStation 1 to relive the classics. Where we have been playing through Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, Resident Evil 1, and we're now doing Resident Evil 2 in preparation for the big 2019 release of Resident Evil 2 Remake, not a remaster. Not a remaster, a remake of the classic game, where it was actually so much harder than we thought it was going to be. I got scuffed, man. There was a point today where we had Leon S. Kennedy Esquire hunched over in pain, nearly dead. We had no bullets left, no shotgun shells left, and but a knife. But a blade to carry us to victory as we crawled through those doorways looking for any sign of life. But we made it. We fucking made it. We did not give up. We did not restart the game. We made it. We fought those dogs and we stabbed them to death. And we got there in all its pixelated glory of classic voice acting, worst dialogue I've ever seen in my life. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. And you guys have been awesome. But that's not why you're here right now. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I have in front of me yet another stalker. You guys are fucking letting me down, boys. The hunt for Poon does not involve stalking. It does not involve stalking in any way, shape, or form. She may have spoke to you, but that does not mean that there's marriage on the cards. It does not. I also have in front of me a tremendous newbie story, which is just full of fucking gold. It's full of fucking gold. Absolutely the best. But speaking of gold, we're going to start with an absolute blunder of massive proportions. An absolute blunder. Fail boat arrived. We are riding the fail boat, which is way better than Jaina's piece of shit fucking magic boat. Magic boat. It's a kid's show? What are you fucking doing? Stupid mage. Use a teleport, idiot. I want some good solid fake spam. I want some good solid fake spam from the chat. I'm not a gold seller. I am not a gold seller. Fake. Fake.
Let's get a cream puff. We're in the story.
Shut up. But thank you very much. Shut up. But thank you very much. All right. Made that go away. Good shit. I am not a gold seller. I'm not a gold seller. All right. There's no names for this one. Don't worry. Plenty of names coming up. Okay, are you ready? Preacher, it's been a couple of years since I wrote you a drama story, but I decided to write this little tale about how I fucked it right up. Fucked it up so bad I had to transfer servers due to the issue. Man fucked it up. A few weeks after the Throne of Thunder launched, I primarily played Alliance PvE. Good luck. And was raiding that content on my Destruction Warlock. However, for a little bit of side funsies, for a little bit of bants, ladies and gentlemen, I have to pause the show for 1 minute. This just coming in, Mr. Sloot has in fact named one of his testicles Mike. It's his middle testicle, but it has actually happened. Just in. Tremendous moments. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. That is coming in live via the tweet machine on my phone. We can confirm that one of Slooty's testicles is in fact named Mike, and that is after me. That's not a generic Mike. That's just me. He's a 3-baller. So, however, as a bit of side fun, as a bit of a bants, I've got an undead disc priest. A little undead disc priest on a PvP server. I play it every week to cap conquest, do some BGs, mate. Basically just smash face. You know what I mean? Just fucking every now and again, I just roll in, own the place. I was part of a guild that was more of a PvP team, community, you know what I mean? Rather than a proper guild. Not a proper guild. Not got like a website or nothing. Guild had 140 active members, all of them in this guild. And you could always trust people. You know why? You know why? Not even allowed in without a 1500 arena rating. Yeah, elitist maybe, but we all own. So fuck you, piece of shit. 1500, mate, all day, every day. Guess where we are? Camping Turtle Quests. Yeah, all day, 24 hours a day, camping Turtle Quests. Side note, did anybody see the post on Reddit where someone tracked that some warrior actually stood camping the Turtle Quests for 6+ hours? Did you see this? Did you guys see this? They like had the clock and this guy just stood there. I think it was a warrior. He was just there for 6 hours ganking people who were zoning out of Turtle World Quests. Like, fucking mental. Absolutely fucking mental. Jesus Christ. World PvP though. Yeah. Gonna make my compilation vid. Fucking big crits. It's gonna be sick, mate. BFA. Open World PvP. Fucking nailed it, mate. Make low go. Make you go, mate. Make you go. That's how I do it, you fucking ghost. See you later. Anyway. We would essentially pug, but within the guild itself. Right? We've got access to all these players. Some people would create little cliques. But mostly, you could log on and just open in guild, be like, anyone down to Cap Conquest over the next hour? What do you want to do? And some people would say yes. All in all, it was a good environment for an alt that I only PvP'd on for a few days a week. That's all. But one day, the gold spammers on this server were being particularly virulent. Constantly spamming of trade and shrine general. They were making so many level 1 alts, whispering players to try and sell gold, leveling services and such. G2A.com though. Yeah? Hit me up for a code. I got you, fam. Comes with G2A protection. Definitely worthwhile. 100%. You are safe. Alright? G2A wallet. Hey? You can trust me. I have a webcam. Alright. Good shit. They were making so many holes. A lot of people in my guild were pointing out how bad it was on this day in particular. Definitely no scam. You can trust me. I've got a microphone. He's influencer, you know what I mean? I received a whisper from a level 1 character. I don't remember the class or the race. However, all they said was, hello. Of course, in my rushed feeling, and of the day it had been, I assumed it's gold spammer, right? It's a level 1 character saying hello randomly. It's gold spammer, gold spammer. I decided, fuck it, bit of trolling, mate, because I'm PvP mode. After they whispered me, I decided stupidly to troll the gold seller by trying to sell the gold seller gold. So it whispers back. I'm not going to do the Chinese voice. I'm not doing it. I know you want me to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's going to be clipped. People are going to say, look, Mike's racist all the time. So I'm just going to go. I'll just read it in the way it's written. Using my own voice. You buy gold? Question mark. $1 equals 1,000 gold. Best price. You buy now? Question mark. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. It's not you guys who are talking to me. You guys I can trust. Most of you. G2A.com. It's the guys who are lurking, who are looking for anything to get me. I'm paranoid these days. I just want you to know that. I've become paranoid. The level 1 didn't respond. He logged off. "20 seconds later, the GM of our guild logged on and said to join him on Mumble." Ah, shit. I realised what I had done. That level 1 was the GM of our guild. And he had whispered me for a guild invite on a new alt. Him and I had done some arenas together. But I wouldn't say we were friends. Why he wanted to ask me, I don't know. He asked me why I was a gold seller. I tried to explain, it was just a bit of bants. That's all. Just a joke, man. I'm not really selling gold. But the GM and the officers online were pretty sure I was a gold seller. And then they put responsibility entirely on me as the reason that their server had been overrun with gold sellers recently. Now I tell you all, hand on heart, I have never bought any third-party services. Not a sausage. But they had their minds made up. They had been spammed constantly by gold sellers. And in their minds, they had a gold seller in their own goddamn guild. In their minds, I had not only bought gold, but I was being commissioned to sell gold to other members of the server. Making me, dare I say it to this wonderful live audience now, toxic. I was instantly kicked. And the problem was, this was such a large guild on this horde-dominated PvP server. My name began to spread. I was blacklisted. I couldn't join any other PvP guild on the server, and I tried. Anytime I whispered anyone, I was quickly asked, oh, am I that guy who sells gold? I have no idea how it escalated so quickly, but it did. A full week I tried to join a new guild. No one would take me. One whisper. One joking whisper. I had no choice. I had to transfer off the server. It was a stupid troll. But once people have demonized you, there's no reasoning with them. And I was known forevermore on that server as the gold seller. PvPers are dicks. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think we should paint everybody with a broad brush, though. I think we should. I think we should paint everybody with a broad brush. It's definitely a PvP issue, right? not the damn truth. And anybody who's been through high school will probably know that. That's the girl with the smelly fanny. That's the guy with the little dick. Ah, I see him. I see him. Thank God for cross-realming. There was a time when there was no cross-realming allowed. Right, we need some names here. We need 4 names. We need a guild name. That's you, chat. That's you. Need a name for the author. I bet we don't. Authors always think you're going to get your name in, but you never do, because you're always writing about experiences that happens to you. Pro tip. Pro tip. So we need a guild name, and we need 2 dudes. So I'll have... Oh, Tovek's on the list. He's in. Team Australia. Tovek's in. And... how the fuck do I say that? Shamanism? Shamanism. Got it. Shaminazem. Oh, we're going with Shaminazem. It sounds magical. Beverly Skills. The Hairy Wombats. Miladies. Worgen 905, PvP-ness, the Gold Diggers. Oh, the Dodgy Jammers. I'm in with that. The Dodgy Jammers. I like that. That is ultra British to the core. I like it. All right, the Dodgy Jammers. Hello, audience. I'm a girl. I am 24 years old, writing to you from fucking freezing Sweden. We got a 24-year-old Swede girl in the chat, boys. Nailed it. Yeah? That's why you come here. Easy. Fake. 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 And like all the other WoW girls out there, I thought I'd take my time to share a story of my time raiding during the greatness of Legion. God, Legion wasn't perfect, but fuck me, is it remembered in high regard now. Holy shit. I'm quite the newbie to World of Warcraft, as I only started playing during the last 4 months of Warlords of Draenor. Which you probably had a lot to do. Well played, you. I was on sick and needed something to waste my time on. And as someone who spent their teens painting my face with makeup and polishing my nails, I had, in summary, using mathematics, 0 friends who play PC games. Son of a bitch. I feel like this is a roundabout saying as you like a hot popular girl, therefore you had no nerd friends. This feels like shade, doesn't it? Let me reread it. As someone who spent their teens loving makeup and nail polish, I had exactly zero friends playing any PC games. That feels like shade, doesn't it? It feels like, well, I've got no geek friends because I was good looking and hung out with cool people, right? That's shade. I think we're getting flamed here, like we're a bunch of ugly fucking geeks. Now, I don't know about you, but I take my personal hygiene very seriously. Very seriously. I really want a tissue now. I shouldn't have done that. Fuck. It's in the drawer! Oh, we got one. We're good. Okay. Okay. But I was on extended sick leave, and I ended up buying and installing WoW because it looks like fun. It looks like fun. Now, for you to realize how new I was to gaming, right? Gaming. Let me tell you that it took me 3 months to learn what a guild was, even though I was apparently in one. Now, I like this because this backs up everything that I've been saying since Cataclysm, pretty much. Our author is in a guild, doesn't know what a guild is, right? You feel me, Blizz? You feel me on this, right? Do you sense the poison dripping through your veins? Do you feel it? I didn't dare join LFG until reaching level 85 and joined my first LFR. Scared that I would let down the raid. Can you imagine that would never happen. Would never happen. LFR is the epitome of efficiency, is what it is. That's what I would call it. LFR, however, got me hooked on raiding. That does not fit my narrative at all. Fuck. That doesn't work. Let's change that. LFR got me interested in what raiding might be. Let's reword it that way. Let's reword it that way. I thought, this is the heroine to my heart. So as Legion pre-patch came, I rolled a Mistweaver. Good girl. To try and get myself into a raiding guild. And all went very well. And I cleared the Emerald Nightmare Heroic and half Mythic a month before the Nighthold launch. When I realized that WoW healing is fucking boring. So let's try Windwalker. This doesn't work at all. See, you should have been a gamer younger. You've been corrupted. This is just a mess now. As I swapped over to main Windwalker, I make my way to find a new guild. A guild that pushed further into Mythic. And I got accepted into the Dodgy Jammers. And the 40-year-old GM Tovek was very welcoming to this little guild, where some of his closest friends and his son and daughter were raiders. Oh, sweet fucking Christ. Of course they are. Oh no, he's 40. How old will my kids be when they're 40? Yeah, old enough to not be shitters. That should be alright. At this time, I had barely played WoW for a year. And I was pretty shit at most things, especially Windwalker, since I'd mained it for about 2 weeks. So the other Windwalker in the guild, Shaminazem. Sounds magical, Shaminazem. Took it upon himself to teach me the ways of walking the wind. And I got good. I got very fucking good. Within no time, we were progressing Mythic Nighthold. I was topping the DPS in the guild. I was enjoying this game like never before. However, there is one issue here, ladies and gentlemen. One big fucking issue. This guild was boring as fuck. 90% of the roster only logged in for the raids. And the majority of the raiders wouldn't answer any of your messages unless you had some sort of IRL bond with them. After a night of raiding where barely anybody said anything to me, I thought, fuck this. It's time to take my leave, find myself a new guild. But this time, one where I could make friends. Enjoy the game with others and not just by myself. Is this about me? What the fuck? You bastard. But after all, this guild had taught me so much. They had taught me so much. About both my class, about raiding. So I wanted to leave on good terms. And decided to talk with Tovek over Discord. Tovek, I said, thank you for taking me in. Thank you for letting me raid with the guild. But I want a more active guild, where people were on outside of the raids to engage in other content that isn't just raiding, and where people would actually be keen to get to know new players like myself. Tovek went quiet. Took a deep breath. And he said, you disgusting little girl. You come into this guild not knowing the ups and downs of your class, but pretending to know everything there is. Making Shaminazem feel like shit because of it. I've had enough of your bullshit. There's no mythic raider in you. You are just a little cunt. Whoring your way into guilds to steal their loot and think everything will be given to you for free because you've got a pussy. You will never again raid mythic, barely even heroic, because you are fucking useless. And whoa. Whoa. Let's back it up. All right. Let's take a breath and let's review that not only did you drop whore, cunt, disgusting, and the pussy pass into a simple paragraph, but wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Moving forward then, I guess. He then instantly G-kicked me. Kicked me from Discord as we were speaking. In hindsight, I kind of wish I was somebody who would be dripping in salt. A salt mine. Crispy to the core with a crust on the outside of really solid salt particles that lived to cause drama. Because if I was, I would have at least caused some drama while I was still in the guild. You know, just passively causing drama wherever I went. Because after all, I am a girl, and it's easy game for me. But all I did was posting unanswered guild messages asking if people wanted to do keystones. That's all I'd done in my time there. Figuring this was someone's reply to a girl saying she was going to leave the guild, I thought it would be best to name change my character. As things would happen, I decided to change specs too. New look, new lease on life. A new look at things. I'm going Brewmaster, boys. Ugh. When I joined a heroic raiding guild where I would meet some of the closest friends I have to this date. Things were all well and well for a few months. But as Tomb rolled around, I started bumping into Tovek's son and daughter in Dalaran, who every time would emote and slash spit on me. I think this is when Tovek realised that my name change. And cue the appropriate response several months later. The death threats. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. Several months after me leaving the guild, I started to receive death threats from him. Both in the pink, but also in-game mail. That's regulation death threats. Notarized and stamped by the official Blizzard gods. I blocked his character and created another one to continue his loving messages to me. This went on for about 6 months. But after several reports, he finally stopped. And now I haven't heard from him in over a year. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I don't know what I did. The amazing heroic guild I joined after this tyranny died in early Antorus. And I took this opportunity to find my way back into mythic raiding once more. Today, that whoring cunt, that would be me, incapable of mythic raiding, is the main tank in a top world 500 guild. Smoke it. In other words, you know what, Mr. Whoring Cunt? In other words, I have surpassed him by approximately, let me do the maths on this, get my calculator out, that would be 5,000 world ranks. Poggers. Poggers to the core. Poggers. So a big middle finger to that 40-year-old man-child who knew girls could game. Most of us. Most of us. Ever since Samus, actually. Thanks for taking the time to read my little story, Preacher. Maybe the story will help someone who's getting trashed on by idiots keep doing their thing in WoW and enjoy the shit out of the game. I think so too. Weird. Now, do you suspect, I've been thinking about this, do you suspect he thought he was in with the sweet, sweet victory? Do you think he was there to hit the gold standard? Or do you think maybe Shaminazem thought he was in and making big plays? Maybe even sacrificing his DPS? Maybe. Let's do this. Alright, let's do this quick one. How are we doing for time? I'll do what I do the newbie one. Let's see if we can whiz through this one. I want to get it. I want to get this in. Okay. We need... oh, yeah. We need a boyfriend. Let's go with Mossatron. Mossatron. We need a girl. Ooh, Dakota. And... we need someone else. Which will be Sipthos. Perfect. Nailed it. Okay. As for the title of this little tale of woe... okay, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't want to give away how I left my boyfriend. Told you the girls have got vicious recently. The girls have got vicious. The girls have got vicious. All right. Now, we are going into a different game for a moment. As I said, it's a relatively short story, but that game, ladies and gentlemen, is Maple Story. Now, if you don't know, and I don't blame you for not knowing, I don't blame you for not knowing. This should tell you all you need to know. I don't think we need any more information than this. Are we clear? All right? Are we clear? I think this is all we need to know, and we're good. It's Weeby Story. Okay. It began with my boyfriend, named Mossatron, that I had in the past, whom I played Maple Story with. We met Dakota, Sipthos, and another friend in the game, and eventually the virtual friendship evolved into real life. We were all students with little budget to spare, and we spent most of our time, almost every other day, gathering at either Mossatron's house or Sipthos's house to play Maple Story. Poggers? Question mark? Poggers? But one day, when I was staying at Mossatron's house with the rest of our friends, I discovered a terrible truth about my beloved. As usual, I would log into his account for him while he was taking his afternoon nap. Aww, Mossatron needs his afternoon nap. From Maple Story. He would take his afternoon nap and I would do some XP farming for him. While he's asleep, his girlfriend logs in and levels for him. Hey, Popescu. What a girl. What a girl. It had been a while since I logged in to do the farming, so out of curiosity and the long-standing boredom of farming for experience in Maple Story, I started to explore his bags to see what are those recent items he had gotten. To my surprise, I spotted many rare armors that seemed familiar. These are the items with the exact stats that our dear friends, Sipthos and Dakota, had previously lost. I grew suspicious. But I didn't go into a panic yet. Instead, I decided to take a pic of all the items in details and logged off. I went into the bedroom and woke up Mossatron. I cooked up an excuse saying that my mother had asked me to go back home early, and I promptly left his place. As soon as I got home, I shared the photos with Sipthos and Dakota to confirm, are these the items you had lost? And they exclaimed in horror, where did you find those? I replied, they're in Mossatron's bags. Dakota was, but how? Sipthos came up with the idea that maybe because we logged into our computers at his house, on his computer sometimes, that maybe he had been keylogging us. Our other friend said that makes sense because I never logged on his computer. After calming ourselves down from the horrifying truth that Mossatron had keylogged his friends and stole their gear, we came up with a plan. We were going to take all his shit. The following day, I talked to Mossatron on the phone as usual until he needed his afternoon nap. This would mean that it was time to execute the plan. I whispered to Dakota, who was online. He's asleep. I tried my best and sounded normal to Mossatron. Give me a call when you're up later. The call ended. Dakota said, we're ready. I breathed in deeply and started logging into Mossatron's account. As I waited on the loading screen, I contacted the squad on a conference call. I'm logging in. Dakota was nervous. So we're heading to... I'm sorry if I say these names wrong, MapleStory fans. So we're heading to Lith Harbor now and wait? Yes. I'll head over there the moment I log in. As Mossatron's character had appeared on the screen, I checked his bags again, and I updated the group. The items are still there. Okay, let's head on over. We're moving in. I took the teleport scroll to the nearest town before taking a cab to Lith Harbor, where we planned to meet up. After we gathered, I started transferring all the items to the rightful owners. But the question was brought up. What if he finds out? Dakota said he would go on a rampage. I looked at the items that his character was wearing. Let's take his current gear. Brilliant. That way he can't reach us without the weapon and armors if we go to a high-level map. My eyes stopped at the millions of, I assume this is gold, mesos. The millions of mesos that his character had. He could buy everything back. How much money has he got? He's got about 90 million. That's insane. How did he get so much gold? I looked at the clock on the bedroom wall. We should be quick. We haven't got much time. We quickly came to the consensus and continued to transfer the items that he was wearing and also the 90 million mesos that he had. After it was done, we agreed to meet up at the Victoria Tree platform. I took one last glance on that naked character and stood at Lith Harbor before I logged off. After I had logged back into my own character, I hurriedly headed to the Victoria Tree platform as fast as I could. When I got near, I spotted Dakota and our friend waiting for me to board the ship to Orbis. So an explanation for you WoW fans out there. Let me explain just to make it clear in case you haven't played the beloved MapleStory before. Lith Harbor is somewhat like a beginner's town, like Northshire or the Valley of Trials. The kind of place after you get to level 10, it's no longer visited. In contrast, Orbis is somewhat like a beautiful sky city in the clouds. Maximum weeb overdrive. It is what vanilla players would compare to as the hinterlands, where if you are max level, the mobs wouldn't really threaten you too much, but you know MapleStory is all about the leveling, and people generally don't level to max. In fact, at the time, most people would be stuck at Orbis for months. However, without gear, it really doesn't matter how high your base character level is. You need armor to take the hits, and most, if not all, your skills your character have are dependent on your weapon. Traveling is another problem in the game. It usually takes a huge amount of time to get anywhere. Imagine, if you will, having a Zeppelin going cross continents all the time. Again, if we go back to vanilla, or the boats from Darnassus to Darkshore and then transit to another location again. The thing is, every boat in MapleStory can take to 30 real-time minutes to travel across the continent. Granted, the boat ride itself has a boss on it, but also has a safe zone under the decks. And each boat ride arrives on the platform at fixed intervals of 15 real-time minutes. A few minutes later, as we waited for the ship to arrive, Mossatron's account comes online. I looked at the screen of my mobile phone again. There was a missed call. I asked, because the boat hadn't arrived, can we make it? And as we stood there, the ship arrived and we boarded it. While waiting for the ship to bring us to Orbis, I typed into search, where is Mossatron's current location? And he was still in Lith Harbor. And just then he whispered me in the game. What happened? I replied. Huh? At the same time, I prompted the other three that he was still on the phone, was still in the call with me. He started questioning me. Say nothing. Act as if you don't know. Mossatron hit the reply. All my rares are gone. I'm standing naked in Lith Harbor. And for some reason, imagining what he had described to me made me laugh. I shared with the rest and they too burst into laughter. Maybe you got hacked, I said. Not possible, Mossatron said. And I raised my eyebrow. Why? I've never logged into my account anywhere except home. And my PC is secure as shit. Maple Story. I typed in, that's weird. Did you know that Sipthos and Dakota didn't log in anywhere except on your computer? Maybe that means that you hacked theirs. And after a few seconds, Sipthos said, uh-oh, he's whispering me. What did he say? He asked if I had noticed you, Arthur, logging in and out of his accounts. He instantly suspected me. I whispered Mossatron, my boyfriend. Yes, I logged into your account and I gave back everything that you took from Sipthos and Dakota. He replied instantly. Are you fucking crazy? You hacked your own boyfriend's account. And I hit him straight back. And you hacked our friends' accounts. You son of a bitch. The screen had changed. We were no longer on the ship. It had been a long ride and we had reached Orbis. As for Mossatron, he was still stood at Lith Harbor, naked, within a recoverable status. And of course, I let him know that we were no longer boyfriend and girlfriend. And this is how he should remember me. I said I will not be the girlfriend to a hacker. Hacker. He never spoke to me again. And I want you all to know, never hack someone you know, because we know more than you might think we know. That's right. All your friends. Hacker man. Total hacker man. What a bummer. His girlfriend took all his shit. Fucking witch. What a witch. I'm in. Soulbound, baby. Woo! Soulbound. Soulbound. Would you do it? I would. Okay, let's have a newbie story. I like it. I want a newbie one. All right, Swift Bamboo. My man. Swift Bamboo. Who's a copper, IRL. Plod. We need Hogstrom. Hogstrom, who is a hunter. We need... How do I say this? Howgard? Howgard. A gnome. Need we say more? Krill. A paladin. And another girl. Kejoho. Looks good. Looks solid. Perfect lineup. Beautiful. Beautiful. There's a few games like that that you can swap gear with. Okay, Endless Failure. The perfect title for a newbie story, ladies and gentlemen. Endless Failure. From start to finish. Endless Failure. Okay. The origins. Are you ready to feel better about yourselves? I hope so. My WoW experience began during the Burning Crusade in late 2007 when I was 10 years old. I had played PlayStation 2 games and had spent many hours trying and failing to beat Kingdom Hearts 1. My father was vaguely aware of this, so when one of his police officer friends at work mentioned that he played a game called World of Warcraft, which was online but safe, no pedos, my father suggested that I should try it out, and I started a free trial. I created a human male warrior and began to explore the beauty of Northshire. I was immediately impressed by the sheer number of gameplay elements this game possessed, and quickly became interested in the nearby quests. I thought my warrior, which came to display chain-mail armor pieces with green highlights that exposed his muscular arms, you didn't think that at 10, was incredible. I convinced my parents to buy me the full game, where I made a new character, the same race, the same class. I created him on the US server where my father's police officer friend played a night elf rogue named Swift Bamboo. I explored all of Elwyn Forest and started Westfall, and when Swift Bamboo whispered me, offering to run me through the dead mines to get gear, Swift Bamboo was already level 70 in a different league than myself. He easily smashed the instance. I got tons of valuable items that had blue text, including the mighty Smite's hammer. It let me 3 to 4 shot mobs in Westfall. And now up till this point, I had died many, many times to swarms of Murlocs, Hogger, and many bandits. But the relative ease of the early game of the Deadmines gear had granted me enough power to complete my previous journey. When I hit Duskwood, it began to change. Duskwood had an incredible story and environment. I agree, I love Duskwood. But it brutalized me. I began to feel that warriors were wildly underpowered and considered re-rolling, giving up, quitting. But it had taken me so long to get where I was. I had Smite's hammer. I have no choice but to continue. Now, while at the time I felt that the warrior was dog shit, I realize today that I made several errors that made this game so hard, and I'm sorry to say that these errors lasted until Mists of Pandaria. Error 1, I was a clicker, and indeed was unaware of the concept of binding your abilities to the keyboard. I was aware that there was a menu that had a binding section, but it mystified me. And I genuinely thought it was a tool for players with different kinds of computers. Smart. Smart. I used the arrow keys to move. Oh, God. I used the arrow keys to move and keyboard turn, which made clicking the only option for me. I was aware of WASD, but it felt to be absurd. Absolutely absurd. And you know why? Do you know why? Because the W was misaligned to the S, so it must be not intended by the developer and would have been unlearnable anyway. Who can handle the offset of the W and the S? It makes no sense. There is no physical way my hand can handle non-directly vertical movement. 3. I was deeply reluctant to stance. Or 2, for reasons that mystify even me to this day, use abilities other than Heroic Strike. This means my damage consisted mainly of auto attacks, Heroic Strike, and whatever random abilities I willed myself to press by accidentally clicking them. And number 4, I was unable to install mods to the game. My father had told me that third-party sites for games could be full of viruses, and modifying the game files was basically cheating. It's going to be a tough start, ladies and gentlemen. That is the basis of our player. That is where we're starting on this journey. Did you know potions are cheating? I read that not too long ago. These factors made my leveling process long and brutal, and I noticed as well, weirdly, that Swift Bamboo was becoming increasingly busy when I asked him to run me through dungeons. So I was on my own. And this culminated in a 2 to 3 month period where I was basically just stuck in Tanaris. unable to find another zone, and endlessly running Zul'Farrak when I ran out of quests. I would pug Zul'Farrak by using the /who function to find whatever low levels were online, whispering them, and being rejected. At least that's changed, right guys? The process of recruitment and then doing the dungeon would take me on average 3 hours per Zul'Farrak run. On days I was able to get a group at all. I was motivated though. Extremely motivated. I was motivated by the big bad pauldrons that dropped from that last boss. By this point I decided I was going to be a Fury Warrior, mainly because the weapon specializations, he's put them in quotations, in the arms tree meant I would have to respec whenever I got a new weapon. Along with the pain of leveling a new weapon skill, it just didn't seem possible. I could never afford even 2 respecs in a row, let alone every time I got a new weapon. The big bad pauldrons were incredible and perfectly fit the Fury look. Unfortunately, in dozens of runs, they only ever dropped twice. And both times, you know who got them? No, it wasn't another warrior. Paladins. Both times they were taken by paladins, which enraged me. It sent me wild. Those shoulders were obviously warrior items. I was unable to even steal them. It would be dishonorable and would ruin my reputation as a fair group leader. Eventually I was too overleveled and able to break free to the 2 Plaguelands. And finally, the famed Outlands leveling zones. I had a great time there. Leveling was much less vague than in the old world, and I never got stuck. However, I soon faced a problem of being able to afford a good flying mount. The exact details escape my mind, but I do know the highest ranks of flying required a mind-boggling, an utterly insane 5,000 gold. This was several times more gold than I had made in my entire game time. At that time, I believe I had a flying mount that could go at 60% speed. But the next rank still required far more gold than I had. I'd already spent every drop of my gold on lower level mount speeds. Luckily, I remembered Swift Bamboo had sent me a sum of gold of his own as a gift to help me along my way. And in my young brain, I hatched a plan to get enough gold. Every few days, I would send Swift Bamboo an in-game mail, thanking him profusely for the gold he had sent me last time, and then updating him on the exact gold count I had at that time, and reminding him of how much gold it was for the rank I wanted. And would you know it, my plan worked. He sent me more gold. I repeated this plan every few days. Each time getting more gold. And this continued until my dad came home from work one day. My dad told me that Bamboo had been whining at him, that my little son was guilting him into giving him all his gold. My dad thought it was funny because he didn't understand games. But it embarrassed the shit out of me to know that my boy Swift Bamboo was moaning to my dad about me. I stopped asking Bamboo for gold. I had to farm it. I did, however, get enough gold eventually to get a good flying mount. Eventually I hit level 70, but it had taken so long. So very, very long. I can't give exact dates, I won't pretend to. I had started the game before the Black Temple patch hit the Black Temple patch somewhere in the level 40s. and was something like level 67 by the time the Sunwell came out. By the time I hit 70, the expansion was basically done in my eyes. I spent my time doing dailies on Keldanas, as I felt raiding or even doing 5-man heroic dungeons was just well beyond my time or experience. I still had the desire to raid though. and I convinced my parents to let me spend $20. I remember this. Who remembers this? I convinced my parents to let me spend $20 to access a special PvP server Blizzard had released for some arena event. The feeling of being able to wear full epic and matching visual gear was incredible. But I had no one to PvP with, and I didn't really know what to do. Even I remember feeling that it had been a waste of money. He just paid $20 for a vendor. I was extremely excited for Wrath of the Lich King, though. A fresh start. I had heard about Titan's Grip, which made my preteen mind blow. It was the coolest thing ever, and it made the expansion an insta-buy. I even went to a local launch event with my dad. My dad mocked everyone there as being a fucking nerd. But I liked it. I was so excited, and I had fun being there with my dad. And when the game was installed, I immediately made a DK and leveled into Outland. I found the rune system to be some form of wizardry, but the class to be wildly overpowered despite possessing virtually no knowledge of what the fuck I was doing. I considered re-rolling, but I was so attached to that warrior, I wouldn't swap. My journey to level 80 was uneventful, but I soon faced great challenges at Cap. Very few people seem interested in normal mode dungeons, so it took many hours to farm pugs, which began to wear on me. I tried to pug Nax Rammus, but most pugs required full Nax gear or experience to join. Glad that's over. I decided that the next best plan then. I will join Swift Bamboo's raiding guild. I didn't want to appear to have gained entry through some sort of friends, though. I didn't mention my relationship with Swift Bamboo, but I got invited. I decided not to tell Swift Bamboo, and he didn't seem to notice. Oh, he fucking noticed. He fucking noticed. He's told everybody. He's fucking... What are you at this age? 11? 11? Just... I don't know. I don't know. I guarantee if you were to ask him now, he saw that recruit and he went, okay, this is like my IRL friend's son. Invite him. And then at least we gave him a chance, right? Okay. My first raid was the Obsidian Sanctum. And my first boss was to be Sartharian 25-man 0 Drakes. We were able to kill off a few Drakes, but never Sartharian. I learned towards the end of the raid, when someone linked DPS meters, that I was not good. I was the second lowest damage, with the other one below me being one of the tanks, with 550 DPS. I wasn't kicked, but I was never invited back to another raid. Unable to raid, and with the great time it took to farm pugs for normal dungeons, I made the difficult decision that it was time to quit WoW. I was so sad about this that I took many screenshots before I went. Unfortunately, I did not understand the screenshot function was in the game. And so I took screenshots with a camera and got my parents to put them on a flash drive. I have attached some of these screenshots to this PDF. Oh. Oh. Image 1, my warrior in his level 80 gear. Note the leather. Going back to Northshire to like going to your place of birth. He walked those steps that he started on all those years ago. He retreaded the steps like a legend. Dressing up like going to a funeral. Good night, sweet prince. Good night. We wish you the best. I quit the game for what seemed to me like years. But when I returned, I learned that it was still Wrath of the Lich King. I quit forever, dude. Oh my god, you've been gone a week. Like, honestly, you've been gone a fucking week. Really. I learned from my father that Bamboo had stopped playing, and I was unable to log into my old account since it had trickily asked for my email and not my username. Bastard. I couldn't remember the email, so new account. I became a Dwarf Holy Paladin. I didn't want to join my old PvP server, so I decided to join a server that Blizzard had helpfully marked as good for new players. Hey, thanks, Blizz. Really helpful. 10 out of 10. I still had my old gameplay flaws, but the leveling had been made so much easier. And Holy Paladins in Kata had surprisingly high DPS at low levels, especially when Kata hit. I quickly got to max level, even in time to do pre-nerf Kata heroics. I furiously farmed them to get heroic dungeon Biss. What does that mean? What's Biss? Is that a made-up thing? What does that mean? I'm confused. I felt skilled since I was able to do dungeons that so many complained about without much issue. One day while in Uldum, I saw an advertisement for a guild in Trade Chat. This guild was looking for all players of sufficient item level to join. I whispered the GM who sent the advertisement. He responded with one phrase. What is your item level? And my answer seemed to impress him. I was instantly invited. The guild only had a few members, but I presumed that this guild was still farming. I was eventually able to convince the guild master to form a raid for the Throne of the Four Winds 10-man. I watched videos. I read guides. I was deeply prepared and excited for the day to come. Raid day. Half an hour before we were supposed to start. I'll make the group now. Get the people who are ready to go. I was so excited. As the time got closer, I noticed that we had 3 people in the group and not many were logging on. And soon raid time had come and gone. Nobody had said anything in the raid group chat. I got a whisper from the GM. Sorry, but we don't have enough to raid. And he left the group. I felt crushed, but there was nothing to do. As it turns out, my guild never got enough players to make a raid. I felt I had to leave. I joined many other guilds. And while I stand here and I tell you, audience, that I was able to kill normal Magmar, I never killed anything else. My last guild was raiding during the Firelands. I was excited for the new raid, but I quickly found out that I was to be on the bench. I received a message. Can you please sit tonight? Smiley face. Sure, I responded. And I quickly found out that by tonight, they actually meant every night. And that likely I was unwanted due to my lack of skill. The breaking point for me came when my sister asked me what I did in World of Warcraft. What I was doing all these days. Sat in my room playing this game. I explained to her the role of the healer in the group. What I was doing. How I was doing it. So you're the bitch, she said, smiling. It was a crushing blow. I loudly protested, but this only made her laugh harder. I couldn't deny it. To a teenage boy, this blow was too hard. I couldn't parry her thrust. I thought she was right. I had to take another break from WoW. Barely playing through the final patch. never having truly experienced a raid. But I got good though. I got good, I swear I did. I started again during the Throne of Thunder. I knew that I had to fix my past. I learned about my class, learned key bindings, learned about WASD, how it was possible to move the forefinger round and around, the middle finger from top to bottom but slightly to the side. I re-rolled to Warrior. Unfortunately, my Warrior was still on the new players server, which, as I learned, was actually a euphemism for a shit server. I joined the only 25-man raiding guild on that server, which, as I learned, was a cesspool guild that collapsed into a 10-man just shortly after I joined. It wasn't a major problem. I was one of the best players anyway, and I was accepted into this new 10-man group. You might wonder why I didn't serve a transfer, and the answer may seem strange. First, I didn't want to ask for money from my mum and dad. Second, I didn't want to apply to what perhaps were foreign guilds, which I thought was what the other realms were. The Cesspool Guild bumbled along into Siege of Orgrimmar. To put this guild into context, I heard an officer openly state that he had downloaded a mass invite add-on to get bodies to funnel gold into the guild bank. Nice. I had long considered leaving, but came to look when our dead server was merged with several other more alive servers. I was only interested in 25-man guilds, which was a problem because 25-mans had long declined in relation to 10-mans, and by Siege there weren't that many left. Thankfully, this merging of the servers, this bringing together of players, we had our pick. I applied to a guild that was progressing heroic Thok the Bloodthirsty. This guild had a strong core of 14 people, but struggled to get enough bodies to fill the rest. I had furiously studied the fights in Heroic, watched everything I could, read everything I could, and was able to do well in my trial. I quickly became one of the better, though not the best players. I was dedicated to help this guild beat the tier. I also became friends with 3 of the officers. One named Hogstrom, a healer. One named Halgard, a hunter. And the GM, Kirkrill, a prop paladin. Since during progression I did several challenge mode groups with them, they will become important. In the last 14 months that Siege of Orgrimmar had been out, we killed Heroic Garrosh. We were thrilled, and I was especially, having finally finished a raid tier at the highest difficulty. But I was personally, and the guild was as a whole, still not very good. Considering how long it took us to beat the raid, still we had done it. And now we had an advantage as a 25-man going into Warlords of Draenor's 20-man raiding. We could drop the baddies. We could become prime. When WOD hit, our guild climbed up the guild ranks in Highmaul and Blackrock Foundry. And it was in Blackrock Foundry that we recruited a pair of raiders. One was a female hunter named Kojoho, and the other a male druid. The druid quickly quit, but Kojoho stuck around. Kojoho and Hogstrom, both hunters, began to hit it off. Eventually, the two of them formed a relationship, and I didn't pay attention at this time since WOD was trash, since I only really logged in for the raids. I was, however, present for the conversation when we decided we're going to BlizzCon as a guild. I got a ticket from a shady website and went with my father to California to attend. We had a great time in and outside BlizzCon, drank together, sang songs at a nearby hotel as a guild. Almost all of the long-standing members of the guild had attended, including Hogstrom, Halgar, Kukrill, and Kojoho. But as we were leaving, things took a turn for the worse. Our guild had kept a group chat where we were talking about the trip, in glowing terms, celebrating our journey. And suddenly we saw a picture message from Halgard, who decided it would be a good idea to post a picture of himself in bed with Kojoho. The picture clearly implied that they were both naked under the sheet, and as if they had had sex. Cool as a cucumber, smooth as silk, my boy Halgard thanked us all for the great time he had. Great time in quotation marks. Without considering the implications, I felt that this was not appropriate. This was not appropriate for the group chat, and several others likely felt the same. We rapidly continued the conversation to cover up the photo without referencing it or calling attention to it, hoping the whole issue will just blow away. Will just blow away. As it turns out, the issue did not go away. Haugaard was quietly removed from the guild when the message was found out. Kyoho and Hogstrom both stayed in the guild. While I was doing a dungeon with the two of them in the early days of Legion M+, another member of the guild subtly goaded Kyoho into bringing up the subject herself. Kyoho firmly denied having ever had sex with Haugaard and reminded everybody that Haugaard was fat, bald, and lives with his grandma, and there's no way she would give it up to him. Hogstrom said little, but he seemed to trust her and believe the story. I, though, remembered clearly the photo and was a little suspicious, but felt no need to cause drama by mentioning my thoughts. I just said nothing and changed the subject quickly. Ultimately, however, the issue could not be ended this way. The tension remained and other allegations came to light against Kyoho. I was told by multiple raid members that they were all trading dick pics with Kyoho for nudes. All of them? How many dick pics do you need? You have the internet. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are so many of you sending your dicks globally? What is this? What are you doing? Why are you all doing that? Stop doing that. Stop sending your dicks everywhere. Right? You're just digitally invading everywhere. One for the books. There it is. That's a cracker. That. Look at the lighting on that. You can see the vein. Look at that. Look at that. It's like a cut. It's so fucking clean, man. It's beautiful. It got so bad that the raid started to argue with each other about when they had sent their dick pics. Because that's the important bit. Right? That's the important bit. When did you send it? I was first. Alright? Understand. I was first. Well, because you were first and I came later, that makes you a noob. Your dick was clearly small, so she wanted to see mine. Oh yeah? Well, I only did mine last night. That must mean all your dicks are shit, and mine is the cream of the crop. That's what's going on here. That's the argument. That's what's going on. Kyoho was forced out and left the server, and soon enough, Haugaard followed. I don't know if they're still together, and I'd rather not. Drama should be cut early before it claims too many innocents. That guild continues to do well into BFA and finishes content on time, and may it always, with me standing strong with them. As a final note here, my female family members asked... Oh, okay. He's trying to deflect here. Are you ready for the ultimate Neo deflection? Dodging the bullet. My female... No lads asked this question, by the way. Not a single penis-endowed human being asked this question. It was the girls. My female family members asked if Kyoho was attractive. No boys asked this question. Not a single one. It was just the girls. I showed them a group photo with her in it. And the judgment of the females was that she was okay. And I am still to this day not sure what that means. I put it to your chat. What does this mean? If the girl describes another girl as she's okay. What does that mean? What does that mean? And that brings us to the end of that story. I leave that to you. I don't know. If a girl rates another girl as okay, I think that means she's pretty hot. I think that means she's pretty hot. I think if a girl describes another girl as being, she's okay, I think that means she's pretty hot. Uggo? You think that means Uggo? I don't know, man. They've got no stake in the game. There's no piece of pie for them. I mean she's hot. I think that means she's hot. Yeah. I think there's a bit of jelly there. Yeah, I think there's a bit of jelly there. I think there's a little bit of jelly there. I think so. An 8+. Ooh, goddamn. Goddamn. 4 stories to finish up our week. 4 stories to finish up our week. And next week, of course. Okay, I do want to do a reminder for all of you, especially Stream Bros, that on Wednesday, despite the fact the brand new rating is coming, despite the fact it's a new patch with all shiny things, I will not be streaming. I know you want to do viewer raids and all that kind of stuff, but I will not be streaming because there is a plan in action with my guild, which involves me doing a tremendous amount of really boring stuff on Wednesday. Super boring shit that I don't really want to stream for you, because it's going to be super boring, and I'm likely to just be trying to bounce my way through it with the boys who are also joining in. But everything will continue as normal from Thursday. So we're here Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday, but not on Wednesday. I will make a video about what we're doing, because some of you might find it interesting. But yeah, we'll be doing some super boring crap on Wednesday. I am booked into a team, I think. I've got to check the updates, but I think I booked into a team from the start of the day until like the end of the night, pretty much. It's not AP farming. My AP farming is done. I am done. I am not farming islands. No, I'm not. It's not that boring, hopefully. I am not farming islands. But yeah, it's nothing to do with AP, but we have got some stuff to get done. So I will be doing that. But I will let you know what it is like after it's done, once I've got some footage. It's something that's like, it's only worthy of a video after like 11 hours of filming. Right? 11 hours of filming. So we'll be doing that on Wednesday. But I do have another announcement to make, but it's not confirmed. But let me just check it's not confirmed. No, I don't think so. Okay, so I do have another announcement to make, but I will let you know probably Monday now. I imagine we're going to be signing the contract over the weekend. I think so. But I do have another announcement about something that is happening next week. Okay, so I will let you know then. Be good, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, RE continues on Monday, and we'll finish that up, and it's going to be all good. Other than that, have a wonderful weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for another tremendous week. I will see you then. PreachCon stuff is well underway. Emma is really stressed out, which is a good sign for me. That means she's working hard. Oh, thank God. I love you all. You have been tremendous. A big shout outs again to everybody who joined us for the Pixelated Nightmare and how much fun we've had with the bants and the stars. Can we get, just from the subs, some big nemesis with the club? Which has become the symbol of the stream, the nemesis of the club as we say goodbye here. Have a great weekend, guys. Do something cool with it. And I will be back with you after a little resty rest. There he is. There's my dude with his club. The nemesis is coming. Thank you all. Thank you all very much. I'll see you on Monday. Be good, everybody. I love you all. See ya.